What's going on, peoples? Hope everybody's doing well today. As you can see, the title is When You Look Like a Chump. Ali Bashir, you look like a chump. You 65 years old or whatever age you are, you roll up into Clarissa's home territory. Pick a fight with a sister, not Clarissa, not a trainer, her sister, over a weigh-in. Then you go and you threaten her in Flint, of all places, Michigan. And you talk about you gonna not slap her stupid and knock her out and all this shit. You know, people in Flint will take that personally. You know that. So you gotta knock the fuck out. Probably two piece, maybe one punch. And you was knocked senseless. Everybody's talking about how Ali Bashir, he an old dude. I know a lot of people have respect for him with his boxing knowledge and shit. But you started shit, ninja. You started that. You look like a fucking chump. Got your jaw broke because of your mouth. They basically say shut your fucking mouth up in here. Don't disrespect. Okay, you gonna go to somebody's home. It's like you go in somebody's house and talking about you gonna slap them silly and you gonna knock them out. So if they take that threat seriously and they retaliate and your ass get knocked out, how are they wrong? How are they wrong? You go into Clarissa Shields' territory and threaten one of her members of her team, and you expect the fans to just watch that and watch you just, hey, Ninja Ali Bashir, you've been in Europe too long. You forgot what a ghetto like. You forgot what a hood like. People take that shit personally. They take it personally, especially you're a trainer. You're not supposed to be involved in this shit. That's between Clarissa, right, and her opponent. If her opponent want to trash talk her and Clarissa want to trash talk, that's totally different. And you see how the fans behave these days. They're very passionate about their boxing. So you can't be going up in people's territory, rolling up in there like you think you some lord because you have a history of coaching certain fighters. Ain't nobody gonna respect you like that. A threat is a threat is a threat. Talking about you gonna slap her, and you gonna punch her, and shit like that. You can't be saying that shit, man. You look like a chump. Right now, you got a broken jaw, but you look like a chump, right? Whoever punched you, they probably, they may not be a professional boxer, but they know how to punch somebody. And that's what I was trying to explain to people. In professional boxing, it's different than street fighting. Professional boxing boxes hits you with a punch, he's gonna break your jaw immediately. You will be unconscious. It's not the same, like, you know. So they like, oh, he hit an old man. Man, fuck that. Old man was talking smack. Anybody would get it. Right? Now, Chris is right. That's assault. I hope the police finds the person and prosecutes them to the full extent of the law. But there's a lesson here to be learned. There's a lesson here to be learned. Defense. Protect yourself at all times. Hit and not get hit. He was throwing punches, but he forgot that punches come back in return. Now, some of y'all ain't gonna like what I had to say, but a big time fucking trainer, you a big time fucking trainer, supposed to be training this woman to face another woman, you get your ass knocked out. How'd that look? How'd that look? You be giving advice on what somebody should do and what they shouldn't do, and then you get your ass slapped because of your fault, because of your own jaw. You be bumping this. You bump your jaw too much. You talk too fucking much. Everybody to know you don't play boxing. You don't play fucking boxing. You can get slept easy. You don't play boxing. You don't be talking too much. He talked too much. So he got slept. That's what happened. It's real simple. Now, some of y'all ain't gonna like that. I'm saying it like that, but that's the way how it went. It's one thing to promote a fight, but you better be aware of your surroundings, motherfucker. You better have hood in you. You better be able to get your ass out of there if you need to get your ass out of there. You got to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Defense. Defense. Y'all don't understand it. If y'all don't have defense, you better take in front of you before in front of you take you. Because if you don't have defense in life, you're going to get slept like Ali Bashir. Y'all ain't going to like what I'm saying, but I don't give a fuck. You're going to get slept. I'm going to talk about another punk, another chump in boxing. This is why I don't like Triple G right now. And I don't like what Jonathan Banks is doing. Talking about Canelo afraid of Triple G. How the fuck could Canelo be afraid of Triple G and he was walking his ass down in the second fight? How could he be afraid? Why would Canelo be afraid of Triple G? Canelo's a smaller guy walking down Triple G in the last fight. Y'all talking about Triple G boxed so very well. If he boxed so very well, why was he getting tagged up to the body? Again, Canelo landing the majority of power punches. Why? Where was Triple G's power punches? I'm just asking. If he boxed so very well, defense wins you fights. Now he gonna face Derevyanchenko, and Derevyanchenko gonna finish his ass off. And I see him. He looked tanned. Maybe he taking something to face that Derevyanchenko fight, but guess what? That ain't gonna save your ass. Derevyanchenko gonna get you. See him with his little he bite his lip like this. That's Derevyanchenko because he don't understand a lick of English. You can't be a chump. You can't be punking people like that. Canelo's going up to light heavyweight to face Sergey Kovalev, somebody you ain't facing professional fights. You even go up to 168. You even go down to 154. You pull 154 pounders up. Clarissa Shields be going down to 154 to face fighters. Your punk ass ain't doing nothing. You just sitting down like a fucking drone, right? At 160, I'm fed up with Triple G. Y'all gonna see me blasting Triple G to Kingdom Come now. All right, I'm tired of the bullshit. Right? You don't sit down like a drone and dictate shit. You don't dictate shit. Right? And it's people like Triple G and Pacquiao. Sorry to be kind of angry about Pacquiao and Arum, and even the Terrence Crawford situation. They ain't doing shit. Triple G hasn't done shit. I'm gonna be 100% honest now. Triple G didn't do shit, but he wanted to dictate. Right? Talking about he didn't lose fights. What the fuck you talking about? You got a loss on your record. What are you talking about? You ain't lose fights. What kind of illusion you're under, bro? Anyway, I'm gonna score those two fights. So y'all can see for yourself. I'm gonna score them 2 fights because there's no way in fucking hell, if you know boxing, that Triple G won the first fight. No way he won the first fight. He didn't land enough punches to win the first fight. He was swinging and missing, hitting air, and Canelo just landing combinations in his ass, right? And the second fight, ain't no way in hell he won the second fight, especially in lieu of the fact that he's talking about Mexican style. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Mexican style, but you on the back foot for the entire fight? All right, so you on the back foot for the entire fight. You outboxed Canelo. No, you didn't. You did not outbox Canelo either. I'm going to show y'all. It's so easy to do if you know boxing. It's boxing. This is not star power and how much you could entrance people with your limited skill set, right? Your limited skill set. Hopefully, Jonathan Banks can get you to box a little bit better. Obviously, you changed trainers because you didn't do well enough in the 2 fights. Now you trying to get another payday. You trying to punk Canelo? Canelo ain't gonna give you no damn payday. Fuck that. No payday for y'all. Not his own. And Canelo to dictate what he want to do. And Triple G say he gonna face. I don't even believe this. He said he's gonna face the WBO middleweight champion. You believe that? My boy, Boo Boo Andre. If you didn't even face him for the WBO title, you took Derevyanchenko. You was trying to take the lesser two evils, Ninja. You can't even try and run and hide from that. Y'all just calling names as y'all have done throughout your career. You call out Andre Ward, you ain't fight him. You call out Cal Frost, you ain't fight him. You call out Billy Joe Saunders, you ain't fight him. Bullshit. I call on that. I'm gonna call it as it is. And Tom Luffer gonna give his own version of the story. Come on, man. Come on. You trying to get the IBF title from Derevyanchenko. He gonna beat your ass. He gonna win. He gonna beat you. Then they're gonna make all the excuses. He's 37, he been faded. Jonathan Banks said, hey, that's not the case. Triple G's not fading. All right then. All right then. Derevyanchenko should whoop your ass for that bullshit, that punk ass statement you made with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Now you have a career still. You could still fight other fighters. Some of them will make their name off of you. Some of them won't. You will beat some, and you will be beaten by some. That's boxing. What's wrong with that? Hopefully you improve as you can progress onward with fighters. Fighters lose. You don't have to be undefeated. Everybody getting it mixed up. First of all, they're talking about Triple G got the longest knockout streak in boxing. I don't give a fuck. Who did he face and knock out? In fact, he didn't knock out Danny Jacobs. Knocked him down, but he didn't knock him out. Didn't knock out Canelo. Didn't even drop him. Shit. Did I say that again? Let me repeat that. He didn't even drop Canelo. He didn't even drop Canelo. Little Canelo. Then he want to talk about Canelo ducked him. Hey, if Canelo ducked you, he faced you twice. He ducked you, right? That's what you're going to use that claim. He ducked you, but he faced you twice. And on the record, he drew with you, though I thought it was a comprehensive win. And the second one, he beat your ass. Literally beat your ass twice, actually. Because you took a pounding in the first fight. Canelo's face was nice and clean. He went to a party afterwards. Second fight, he got a little cut over his eye from a headbutt. Your stupid headbutt. Okay? You got your face all messed up because he punched you. And your body. You want to take some more punishment? Come on, bring it on, Triple G. If Canelo fights you a third time, though, he's going to kill you. You're not going to leave that ring the same way you came in. So punk him. Punk him as long as you want. Punk him. Because I don't care how tough you are. You better have defense. And you better have defense for the Derevyanchenko fight because he's not going to be easy. Y'all think y'all have a recipe for Derevyanchenko? Oh, good, good, good. I still haven't beaten you. I still haven't beaten you. Even though he got almost dropped by Jack Coquet. Even though Danny Jacobs dropped his ass. I still haven't beaten you. Why? Because I just don't like you no more, Triple G. Everybody told me you're a likable character. Nah, you're not a likable character at all. You ain't done nothing in the sport of boxing, yet everybody calls you the greatest fighter of all time. You have faced 3 worthy current opponents. Everybody else is overhyped. You faced David Lemieux, Danny Jacobs, and Canelo Alvarez. Those are the relevant names we really need to talk about. And for all them Triple G fans out there, suck salt. I don't give a fuck about y'all. All right? I really don't like the dude. I don't like him. Not personally, because I don't know him personally, but in the media and what he tries to push and the way how he uses punk ass tactics, it's stupid. You trying to get a fight with Canelo. I know that's what you're trying to do, but you ain't no Gary Russell Jr. where Gary Russell Jr. at least saying something that makes sense. Like he break it down why Gervonta Davis don't want to face him right now. Why Floyd Mayweather don't want to face him right now. Because he showed how on one hand, Gervonta Davis was about to face Abner Mares coming up from featherweight after winning a title, but yet Gary Russell Jr. got to win a title at super featherweight before he faced Gervonta Davis. That didn't make no damn sense, all right? He used reasoning. Triple G ain't got no fucking sense. What is it? I won the first 2 fights. No, you didn't. It was a draw and was a unanimous decision win. A unanimous decision win. It wasn't even a split. Was it a split decision win? Maybe it was a split decision win. But at the end of the day, you lost both fights. But hey, whatever. We're not going by a matter of opinion. By fact, it says you drew one and you lost the other. So you really got nothing factual you could say about ducking. Now, Demetrius Andrade, he could talk about ducking. And even then, he still don't have a strong. He still don't have a strong case because they could always say, well, who did Demetrius Andre beat? So Andre need to go out there, like they said, and face a Billy Joe Saunders or face one of them guys right now at 160. He can't have Triple G because Triple G right now facing Derevchenko. So you need to get a good opponent for the December card. I think he's trying to get on Joshua versus Ruiz. A good opponent for the December card. You better hurry up and get that. And I like the music vocal, by the way. LGC. What does LGC mean? Oh, you liked it. Oh, that I sent you the song? Yeah, man. That's what we be doing in the studio all the time. I've been doing a lot of music in the studio. Yeah, man. But I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying that you can't be doing these things, people. You can't be punking one fighter, and that fighter's doing something that you ain't even done. You ain't going up to 175. Never mind, I think that fight with Kovalov is an easier fight than at 160. Canelo's still moving up two weight divisions, whether you like it or not, and he's facing the number one, whether you like it or not, light heavyweight in the world, as assessed by the Ring and various other boxing bodies like BoxRec and Transnational Boxing and so on. Okay, whether I like it or not, that's just the way how it is. He's ranked that way. I don't think he's the strongest light heavyweight out there. I don't think he's the best light heavyweight out there, but that's how it is based on his resume. Okay, so Tommy Temper says, "Let's go, champ." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, let's go, champ. Yeah, listen, Tommy Temper. If you can put up like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler, I will actually do the scoring for that fight. If you can get it up, I'm gonna do the scoring for the fight and direct everybody to your channel so they can leave their comments and shit. All right, because that's another fight I need to do, and then I'm gonna do Canelo versus Triple G, the first one, and then we can do Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. We could do a number of fights. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it in the studio itself. I was outside. I think I'll go in an enclosed room, close up so that the dogs don't bark and stuff and do a lot of crap, man. So you could sync it up. I'll take the volume up in the first part, and then in the second part, I'm gonna turn the volume down so that you don't hear any background noise, nothing at all. It's just clean. And you just hear my narration. Yeah. So I was just saying to you people, man, you gotta understand. Listen. This is boxing, okay, people. This is boxing. This is a lot of people get it mixed up with mixed martial arts. They get it mixed up with a lot of things. This is boxing. All right. I'm gonna talk another video. There's another video I want to talk about in terms of fan expectations, and I understand why fans feel a certain way about certain things. And I'm gonna go through that in another video. But this one is basically talking to you guys about the fact that we got some chumps out here. Okay, we got some guys who really chumping it out, and they really behave like chumps, in my opinion. And I think Triple G, y'all can call me a Triple G hater or whatever. He behaving like a chump right now. That's the truth. And I don't like it. Tommy Tepper says, "Sweet, I have an idea for that." Yeah, man. We need to get more of this content out there so people can understand how these fights, what's really going on in the fight to start with. And then second of all, how you scoring the fight, because I think a lot of people don't understand. They're always looking at just scoring punches, like this punch landed, that punch landed. No, man. And you also have to understand the fighter's strategy, what the fighter's actually trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. We'll try and get some other stuff going though. I'm trying not to curse so much, but I'm just saying, look, some people think that because you may be a Christian or whatever, that assault is wrong. But Ali Bashir looked for his stuff though. He looked for it. He was searching. You could see he was following the woman around after everybody tried to pull her off and was like, "Hey, tone it down, sister." Right? And yeah, she's gay and all of that, but the point is she's a human being, right? Ali Bashir be trying to whoop her ass. A 60-something-year-old guy trying to whoop a younger woman. And the thing about it is, over something that he do wrong. He was wrong. He was overstepping his boundary. And so the official was telling him to back off a bit. And so I'm assuming that Clarissa Shields' sister told him something. You know what I'm saying? Said, you know, hey man, look, hey, back off. She probably barked at him, and he was like, he went in on her from there on in. And I'm just saying, Ninja, you might be a fighter and all that shit. You might have a fighting background and all of that, and you might have all that history, and you might be an OG. But motherfucker, man, you got to know how to pick your fights. You got to know what you're doing. If you're gonna bark back at Clarissa Shields' sister, at least know where you are, man. You know, you got to know what you got to know what you are, man. Man, I don't like to curse, man. I don't really like to curse. You know, it comes out of my system. I know I don't mean negative things by it all the time, but there are times when, man, I'll be cursing and swearing. It's not cool at all. And that's what that song was about. It's like, you know, man, this is not what I want to do. You know, I remember the Apostle Paul said, the things that I don't want to do, I end up doing, and the things I want to do, I'm not doing. You know, and that's what that song was about, actually, if you were listening to it carefully. It's about that struggle and then that alignment. And the guy who actually did the actual rap on the song, his name is Realize. Um, he was basically talking about that. So the theme was basically how everything's just like a curveball all the time, it seems, but it's really growth. When you're growing in anything, including as a Christian walk, when you're growing, it's very uncomfortable. It's not about what you like, but it's actually growing pains, as they say. It's what you don't like that you actually end up getting confronted with, and that's what helps you get to the next level. No, it's cool, man. I understand, bro. You a Christian too. I understand where you're coming from. Lots of people who are Christians actually out here and struggling somewhat, and just walking the walk. It's tough. It's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. And you guys, if anybody knew me just about a year to 2 years ago, or further back, you know, I still am a dude that likes to really share a lot of scripture with people and stuff like that. I'm hardcore, but man, a couple events just rattled me, and I just went all over the place. It really shook me for a moment, but it's all good. I mean, I understand. I understand it's a process, and to come back to where you are, to be even more authentic than you were before, you have to go through a process. So I'm gonna look back at this. Some of y'all gonna look back at this and be like, "Man, I can't believe you was like that." And I'm gonna be like, "Hey, man, anybody can." You can't really put your confidence in human beings. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, yeah, Bashir, man, Bashir needs to understand that you can't be doing that shit, man. You can't be doing that shit, and especially as a trainer. Even when you look at guys like Kenny Porter and Angel Garcia, they shit talk like crazy, but it's usually directly towards the fighter. They don't make it about the fighter's family. They don't make it about other people around them. They make it about the fighter. They stay focused on what, trying to get the fighter out of their game. And I know Ali Bashir was trying to get every inch and edge on things, but that was a pre-fight weigh-in. Ali Bashir was like so intense and shit, and I'm like, dude, man, just we understand you want to take an extra inch, but you just went off tangent. You just went at Carissa's sister. Carissa's just there weighing in anyway. Anyway, he succeeded at canceling the fight because we all know Clarissa was going to put an ass whooping on that woman. She was going to beat the brakes off of her. I already knew this. I don't care if Ali Bashir was in her corner. That woman was going to get beat the hell up bad. All right. And instead, Ali Bashir got his ass whooped. He got knocked out. Boink out. He got knocked out, man. Sparked out. Man, so it is what it is, but you don't behave like a chump and expect nothing else in return. If you're going to behave like a chump, Floyd Mayweather was one of them guys who behaved like a chump, right? He behaved like a real asshole at times, but he was aware of his surroundings, and he always brought protection because he knew he had made enemies with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So he, in order to prevent an incident, he had these guards to defend him, right? Not that will protect him, but at least it kind of is a deterrent to the average person. And then, if you're going to behave like that, if you're going to be outlandish or you're going to be outspoken, you got to observe your surroundings, man. Anyway, with Triple G and Jonathan Banks, they trying to punk Canelo. to get some mileage off of it. You know, the Triple G salty that he lost that fight and lost his belts. And he knows he lost that fight. He know he lost the second fight. He know he lost the first fight. He knows this. Right? All y'all all the people out there who praising him, come on, man. Y'all need to be serious about it. Y'all need to be serious about this shit. He ain't do shit. He ain't do shit to Canelo. And you know what's the funny thing about it? Nobody's talking about the fact that he didn't even knock out Canelo. Canelo, the smaller guy. This was supposed to be the guy that was ducking him. They didn't want to face him at middleweight. And this little guy, he's smaller than him. He's not bigger than him. All right, Canelo has not faced any. Canelo didn't face a bunch of middleweights. He wasn't a career middleweight. All right? And I want to show you just how mediocre Triple G is. All right? Danny Jacobs was supposedly a huge middleweight, so that was cool. Danny Jacobs, he fought Danny Jacobs to split decision win. Kudos to him on that, right? He dropped Danny Jacobs. That made a difference in that fight, even though I thought Danny Jacobs won. Canelo's coming up in weight. Now, Triple G beat Vanes Martirosyan. He beat Willie Monroe. All of these are 154 pounders, by the way. All right. They didn't want to face Erislandy Lara. He wanted nothing to do with Lara. Okay. He faced Osuma, what's the kid's name? The Southpaw. They were all 154 pounders. The Japanese kid. He fought all those guys, right? Knocked him out and stuff. But they 154. Gabriel Rosado, right? Gabriel Rosado just moved up to 160 and then faced Triple G, right? Beat them all up, messed up their face, bloodied face, shit like that. You know, fight had to stop, right? This 154 pounder moves up. He 154 pounder, by the way. Yeah, he fought at 164 against who this is, Chavez. But the fight before that, he fought for the 154 title. If y'all remember, against Liam Smith, I think it is. Liam Smith, not Liam Williams, not Liam. Yeah, Liam Smith, I think it is. Right? Knocks him out with a body punch. Now you tell me, 154 pounder. Clearly, he's a 154 pounder because just 2 fights before he was fighting a 154. Just to prove a point, moves up to 160 and faces Triple G at his full weight class. Triple G don't want him no concessions. He don't want no catch weight like Mika Cotto did with Sergey Martinez. He don't want none of that. He don't want to compromise nothing. He don't want to make an agreement to make a fight. He really don't want it. He just want a belt. So he took the WBC belt from Canelo. He don't want to really face Canelo. Who really wanted to face Canelo? Triple G wanted all his advantages of 160. All right, Canelo and they were trying to make an agreement to have him fight at a catch weight. He didn't want to fight at no catch weight, right? Canelo was not a middleweight at that time. I don't care what nobody says, right? For Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. just to make sure he knew to deal with the strength of the fighters. Moved up to 160. And Triple G couldn't stop him. All that power. All the advantages. He had reach. Come on now. Height. Size. Power. Supposedly technical skill. And he couldn't get Canelo out of there? A smaller fighter? Sing the song for me. Overrated. That's what he is. He's overrated. He's overrated. You know what I'm saying? He is overrated, man. That's the first fight. The second fight, Triple C says Mexican style. Canelo pops dirty for a drug, clenbuterol. Triple G, castigates him for that. The fight is off. Canelo gets the fight back on. Canelo comes back and Canelo's angry. And Canelo walks his ass down for 12 rounds. Canelo will not take a step back. He will refuse to take. When Triple G tries to fight him off and stuff, Canelo takes the punches and he walks his ass down. He refused to take a step back for the entire fucking fight. Why? Was Triple G busting a host of the shots in Canelo and busting up his face like Triple G had to wear glasses afterwards? He had to wear shades? No. Got defense. You think Canelo could take a full shot from Triple G? No, he can't. He got defense. He got defense. That's why he could hang with Triple G. And when y'all see the Kovalev fight, y'all will understand what I'm talking about. Because y'all talking about Kovalev power and all that shit don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. The question is, how soon can Canelo stop Kovalev? That's what that whole fight's about. You heard it from me. I've been saying it over and over again. It's how soon Canelo will stop Kovalev. That's what we need to know. That's what that fight's about. For those of you who don't know, you know, what's funny is John David Jackson talks about how Canelo, you know, is going to beat Kovalev, etc., etc. People call him a hater. They say, oh, because John David Jackson, you've been, you know, you salty that, you know, Sergey left you. Let me ask you this question. First of all, Sergey was talking bad things about John David Jackson. John David Jackson won't say nothing bad about Sergey. When Sergey left John David Jackson, that's when he started talking. Right? But here's the thing. Everything John David Jackson said about Sergey Kovalev has so far proven to be true. So it's not just a salty John David Jackson talking. It's a John David Jackson who actually, having knowledge of Sergey Kovalev, is speaking about him now honestly and openly. Because he couldn't do that before. So everybody's saying, oh, John David Jackson's. Don't forget to smash the like button. Everybody's saying that John David Jackson, he's, you know, he's salty. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. We got, and by the way, John David Jackson is the one that gave Americanized Sergey Kovalev style. He was European-based. We used to see him in the earlys. European-based style. John David Jackson gave him the nuance of boxing and all that. Okay? He put the foundation in Kovalev in terms of the American pro style. And now we're hearing Buddy McGirt's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Buddy ain't do nothing. He just working with whatever Sergey's foundation is and trying to help him to box instead of using all his power and trying to tee off on his power, which John David Jackson be telling Kovalev all the time. He had been telling him that you don't have to try and go for the, try to knock out a guy, just box. Okay? All right, anyway. I'm going to say this, and I like Buddy McGirt. He a cool dude. But Buddy McGirt ain't going to make a difference in this fight. And Sergey, like I said, is going to be the best Sergey ever because Sergey has a lot to win, to gain, and less to lose than Canelo. If Canelo gets beaten by Sergey Kovalev goes up, way up in pound-for-pound status. He's already on the pound-for-pound rankings, right? Way up in pound-for-pound status. Now he the cash cow because he's going to make a ton of money. And on top of that, now he's seen as the premier guy everybody needs to face. And he's going to be a pay-per-view star. So he have plenty to gain. He should be super motivated when he goes to face Canelo. Right? So you're not going to see a Sergey Kovalev that's old and faded and all this bullshit that they talking about. That's not happening. You're going to see a highly motivated, very sharp, very skilled Sergey Kovalev. He's not going in there to cash out. He's going in there to win. And he thinks he can win. He got all the attributes. He thinks his size, his length, his boxing IQ is enough to keep Canelo off and beat Canelo. And if possible, stop him. Right? So that's the Sergey Kovalev you're going to see. You're going to see the best Sergey Kovalev ever. That's what Canelo's preparing for. He ain't preparing for no weak, feeble. If the knockout come by the body shot, great. If it don't come by the body shot, he's ready to box him. He's ready to slip him. He's ready to get to the inside and work on him. But he's going to give him that work. That's what Canelo's there to do. He's going to give him that work. That's what he want to do. Now, in spite of all that, both fighters not going to be just going for the KO. They're going to be, going in there to box and do their thing. Styles make fights. Styles make fights. Errol Spence couldn't keep Sean Porter off of him. And he had a really good jab. Kell Brook couldn't keep Sean Porter off him. Kell Brook has great timing and a great jab. Erislandy Lara couldn't keep Canelo off him. He had a great jab in the southpaw stance, great right hand. Triple G couldn't keep Canelo off of him. Great jab, great right hand. Danny Jacobs couldn't keep Canelo off of him. Great jab, great right hand. Switched his stances, goes to southpaw and orthodox. Oscar De La Hoya couldn't keep Floyd off of him. Oscar got a great jab. Zab Judah couldn't keep Floyd off him. Zab Judah has a great jab. Okay? Talking jabbers. Miga Cotto couldn't keep Floyd off him, but then Miga Cotto liked to close the distance. He liked to fight on the inside, so that don't make a difference. He wasn't trying to keep Floyd off him. He was trying to get to Floyd. Floyd couldn't keep Miga Cotto off him. Floyd has a great jab. Right? Marcus Maidana has a great jab. That's what made him get into Floyd. So I'm just saying that, you know, y'all talking about how Kovalov's great jab, all of a sudden that jab is going to keep Canelo at bay. It's going to catch Canelo every now and then, but Canelo going to roll, take the steam, take the heat off it, because he got defense. He got defense. I keep on saying that over and over. Defense is a totally different story. To when you have defense, you can almost do anything. But you got to have defense. Canelo got defense. And in this Kovalev fight, what it's going to prove is, one, a smaller fighter with great defense can beat a bigger fighter who's vulnerable in some area. That's what it's going to show. And in an emphatic way, in a very spectacular, emphatic way. Because the fighter has a flaw which the other fighter who has a style can exploit to the max. I'm gonna come back in a second. Hold on a second. Did GGG pop dirty? No, GGG didn't pop dirty Tommy Temper. But if you look at him, though, he reminds me of Kell Brook. He got this tan on him. You know, I never seen GG with such a tan. GGG's usually a very pale-looking guy. Maybe it's the California weather. I don't believe that. He looks strong, too, compared to Derevyanchenko. It doesn't mean nothing, but I'm just saying. I look at certain fighters, man, and they just look so strong. You know what I'm saying? Intangible Boxing says, I'm calling it. GGG by split decision. I wish, bro. I really wish. Filipino Heat says, 5:21 a.m. in California. Is this live? This is live, brother. This is live. We are live. It is now. We are 3 hours ahead of you, so it's 8:21 where I am in the Caribbean. Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about chumps. Chumps. And I'm just saying, Canelo ain't no chump. Okay? Intangible Boxer says, GGG will beat Derevyanchenko by split decision. Will be controversial. That's a possibility, my friend. It's a possibility of it being controversial. What I do know is he ain't stopping Derevyanchenko. That ain't happening. And you see Derevyanchenko's style, right? You see Derevyanchenko's style. It's an interesting style. Intangible Boxer says, GGG's clout chasing off of Canelo. For sure. For sure. There's no need for a trilogy For what? Exactly. None of that matters because he has lost rounds against Willie Monroe, Kell Brook. Right? Intangible Boxing says, he said GGG's clout chasing over Canelo. Like, bro, you just lost your first and second rounds against Steve Ross, right? I mean, Steve Ross is a no, like literally a nobody in boxing, but he fought against guys, that he should have just destroyed, and not only destroyed, but he should have been able to defensively protect himself against. And Intangible was funny, man. He said Steve Rose looked like Sweet Pea. But he doesn't keep his head off the end of the line, all that. So he gets tagged up, and he says he's tough. So it's this toughness that he uses to get past these guys. And you cannot do that in boxing. Defense is important in boxing, very important in boxing. You know, you don't take punches upside the head, which is why he changed trainers with Jonathan Banks, and hopefully Jonathan Banks can do something to help him out with that. But I mean, come on now, you can't be doing that stuff. And I just think that Derevyanchenko is gonna beat him because Derevyanchenko's got better defense than him, much better defense. Hey, Derevyanchenko gets hit flush, he got a hell of a chin, but he's got better defense than Gennady Golovkin. And I just think that, you know, that's just a bad style matchup for Triple G. Derevyanchenko's an inside fighter to a mid-range fighter, and he's got good footwork. And I just think that Triple G, unless he can, have equally as good footwork, he's going to get outboxed. He's going to get outboxed. He's going to get outlanded. You know, he's just going to get outworked because Triple G's not known as a highly active fighter. He's not really a busy fighter. And Derevyanchenko's a very busy fighter. So, I mean, I just don't see how he's going to beat Derevyanchenko. He's not going to land nothing on Derevyanchenko. Even though Danny Jacobs caught Derevyanchenko with a punch, and I think Triple G going to study that and try and hit him with that same punch. Derevyanchenko ain't going to come like that. Derevyanchenko is going to come motivated, and he's looking to beat Triple G and get that IBF title. He's really motivated to get that IBF title. So I really, truly believe Derevyanchenko will beat Triple G. And then after he beats Triple G, what about all this Canelo fight and all this Canelo stuff? Derevyanchenko just beat your ass. I hope Derevyanchenko takes the throne from the greatest middleweight ever. That's so funny. Yeah, man. I'm just saying though. I'm just saying that it's just one of those things where a lot of people don't understand what Derevyanchenko can bring to the table, and he definitely has a pretty great chance of upsetting Triple G. Pretty great chance. And even though Triple G is confident and everything, he knows Derevyanchenko is a threat. He knows what Derevyanchenko brings to the table. He's very much aware of it, and he knows what his style limitations are. And Jonathan Banks would have been working on some things, but like I'll try to explain to people. Okay, but the Sergey Kovalev Canelo fight, right? The reason why Sergey Kovalev he has holes in his defense when it comes to inside fighting. Okay, so the problem with that is you can't fix that overnight. There are little things you can do to try and help improve his situation, but that's not something that takes years to fix. All right, and when Kovalev gets hit to the body, he's going to revert to his old ways. So it's not something that you can just fix. Similarly with Triple G, his defense, as much as he's eager and all of that, it's not going to be easy to fix. That's not something you can fix overnight. All right, and even if he's aware of what Derevyanchenko does in the ring, to be able to devise a style that would nullify that means he has to have skills from many, many years ago that he's using to deal with Derevyanchenko. Jonathan Banks is not going to try and reinvent the wheel. Triple G is going to be Triple G. So it's that kind of thing that people need to understand. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's too late for that. What you can do is let him use the tricks that he usually has in a certain combinational way to try and offset the other fighters. So that's why Triple G is going to be Triple G. He's still going to get hit upside the head. He's going to be a toughian. He's going to try and stick to boxing like Jonathan Banks told him, but he's going to revert back to his old ways once he gets hit upside the head and to the body. And that'll be all she wrote. Jack K had some success. So maybe Triple G, guys, you can smash that like button. I see a lot of you guys watching this stuff. You can smash the like button. If you don't like what I'm saying, don't bother to do though. Be honest with yourself. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that um Triple G, is going to be Triple G. He's not going to be something completely different. He'll box a little bit more, but he'll be Triple G. He's not going to be nothing else, right? Derevchenko's going to be Derevchenko. That's what Derevchenko do. He's not going to change anytime soon. And why Jonathan Banks is saying this is because Jonathan Banks actually said this. Derevchenko's still going to come to Triple G. It's just that Derevchenko has a specific way of boxing you that reminds me of a lot of these, not Ukrainian, but where's Vladimir Klitschko from? That place. All right. See, Derevchenko, like Lomachenko, like Alexander Usyk, like Gavordik, like even Bivol, they have a European style that makes them circle their opponent. They go around their opponent. They look for an entry point around their opponent. They're like mid-range fighters. Derevchenko is a little bit more than just a mid-range fighter. He also fights on the inside. So that's the kind of fight you're looking at. Triple G's facing a fighter like that. Now, Triple G's probably faced fighters like that before, but it's still a difficult style because the fighters are very busy. So they're piling on a lot of punches on you, and the accumulation of punches could get you out of there. So Derevchenko's style is a unique style, a lot different to what Triple G has faced so far in his career, and should be very interesting how he tries to overcome that and what happens. So this is the kind of thing that we're talking about. Derevchenko steps around you, just like Lomachenko. If you think about Errol Spence, if you think about it, Errol Spence would already be higher in all-time boxing rankings than Triple G. I think let me see. Is Errol higher than Triple G in all-round boxing rankings right now? Errol faced Sean Porter and Kell Brook. Those are the two welterweight champions that he faced, right? He faced Mikey Garcia, but Mikey Garcia is like meh. He also faced Mikey Garcia wasn't a welterweight really, right? He just moved up into welterweight, so he hadn't had a welterweight fight, even though he's big like a welterweight. He hadn't had a welterweight fight, pro fight. Then he also faced Lamont Peterson, but then Lamont Peterson was a paper champion. And yeah, he was a long range super lightweight champion, but I mean, and he did very well. He was still sort of on the top of his game when he faced Errol Spence. But really, the two marquee wins, and their wins, by the way, are Kell Brook and now Sean Porter. The Sean Porter win is disputable. It's controversial. But more definitive than, say, the Canelo win over. Is it more? Yeah, it would be more definitive than the Canelo win over. No, I'm wrong. But anyway, it was a close win. It was a unification. I almost forgot. It's Triple G also had this kid's name from Canada, the French guy, David Lemieux. All right, so he had David Lemieux, he had Danny Jacobs, and he had Canelo Alvarez. Those are his three. He has 3 marquee wins. There's nothing else really on his resume that really is worth a while talking about, really. And Errol Spence has had 2 marquee wins. I'm not going to mention Lamont Peterson. That's not really a marquee win. And Peterson wasn't even the world champion. And then also Mikey Garcia, great fighter and all that, but he was pulled up, right? The 3 guys that Gennady Golovkin fought that were authentic, that is, they were actually world champions when he fought them, was Danny Jacobs, Canelo Alvarez, and David Lemieux. David Lemieux is many classes below Danny Jacobs and Canelo, right? David Lemieux is not even a boxer. He's more of a brawler, puncher, right? But he won the IBF title from Hassan Enda. So, um, that's his thing. And then with Errol Spence, he has two marquee wins. Kell Brook was the number one welterweight in the world at the time, and Sean Porter was in top five welterweights of all time, of the time. So that was great. And he had a tough fight with Sean Porter. And he's now going to face Danny Garcia, former welterweight WBC champion. So that's another good fight for him. Gennady Golovkin is going to face Derevyanchenko. He's not as prominent, not as lengthy in his resume, not as accomplished as Danny Garcia. So it is what it is. He should have probably faced Demetrius Andrade, but I don't think Gennady Golovkin wants any of that smoke. He don't want nothing to do with Demetrius Andrade, trust me. Derevyanchenko is probably watching Canelo GGG2 a lot. Yeah, right. Exactly. Not really, but I'm pretty sure they realized the flaw in GGG's defense, the flaws in his defense, so that I think Roger would have he would have a he would have a he would have a game plan set up. I don't think Derevyanchenko is studying that. He's just building on his game, but Roger would have Andre Roger would have a game plan. WBC ordered Danny versus Errol. Oh, it's WBC. Oh, he became a mandatory. Okay, that makes sense because he beat Adrian Granados. So that makes sense. That's cool. Intangible boxing. Tommy Temper hails out intangible boxing. Intangible boxing hails out Tommy Temper. Intangible boxing says DAZN can't get any good fights for Bevo, facing a bum next weekend. Oh man, that's sad. He had Pascal and he had that's it, right? Pascal and he had the kid from Main Events, the Cuban kid from Main Events. I forgot what his name is. Sullivan Barrera. Those are the two fights. He stopped Sullivan Barrera, and then Pascal was a tricky one. Yeah. So back to my topic, which is chumps. So if you want to be a chump, that's another story. But like I said before, while I don't really agree with Canelo facing Kovalev as this great fight that everybody's seeing, I see through the smoke and mirrors, and I already understand that this smaller fighter is going to exploit the bigger fighter's weakness, which is his forte. I do understand why some people think it's going to be great and the greatness and all of that. I mean, like I said before, I don't think Canelo ducked Demetrius Andrade. You can't say that if you're going up two weight classes and facing a dude who is known as the Crusher. Especially after coming off of his last crushing of his last opponent. You can't really say that, right? Even though he wasn't as good, he was very vulnerable in that fight, as well as the fight before. You can't really knock Canelo for doing that. So, and a lot of people are still having question marks in their mind about, can Canelo actually deal with the size and the skill of Kovalev, and people are questioning that, and this is like an open shut case. Like your first thought, oh, Canelo gonna knock him out to the body, is your thought. You should stick with that. Don't overthink the situation. All right, that's exactly what's gonna happen. You're gonna stop him because of body punches. So that's just what it is. I mean, I'm not trying to be like a hater or anything for Kovalev. Kudos to him, but he's got, it's a one-way street, y'all. It's a one-way street. It's going one way and one way only. It's just what it is. With respect to Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo, and again, Jamal Charlo, he didn't knock Canelo going up to face Sergey Kovalev. Demetrius Andrade didn't knock Canelo. You can't knock it. You can't knock it because you see, you can't knock that. That's like you going up a higher weight class to face a much heavier, bigger opponent. You can't knock that. You just can't. That's why I can't really say it's a duck. You can't be saying he's ducking Demetrius Andrade or Jamal Charlo or Billy Joe Saunders. to face Kovalev, who's the number one light heavyweight in the world right now. That's how he's ranked. He can't say that. He just can't. You know what the reality of the situation is. You know his vulnerabilities. You know what Canelo's strengths are. You know what styles make fights, but you can't say that. So I can't say he ducked. You know, I want to, but I can't. You know, and so it is what it is. I mean, um, but as to some people talking about what Canelo do after he faces Sergey Kovalev and beats him, and how about Andre Ward coming back into the fray. First of all, Canelo never mentioned Andre Ward's name for a reason. He didn't mention Andre Ward's name for a reason, and I don't think he should keep. He shouldn't. He should leave Andre Ward's name out of his mouth for as long as he can. That's not a winnable fight for him. I don't care what he thinks. That's not. I don't care that Andrew Waters retired from boxing for so long. That is not a winnable fight. And I listened to the interview with Virgil Hunter. With Virgil talking about like 30, $40 million probably get Ward back in that ring because that's generational money. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. I don't want to see Ward come back into boxing. He was a very dominant boxer. But if he comes back into boxing, so be it. I will, as a fight fan, watch it. He will obviously need one or two tune-up fights if Canelo's willing to oblige him on that. Ward is gonna just he gonna beat Canelo bad, man. He gonna beat him, not bad, but I mean he gonna beat him. He gonna get the W, and mainly because, like I said before, Ward this time Ward don't have no known weaknesses like Kovalev vulnerabilities. And on top of that, he does also inside fight. If Canelo goes to the inside, Ward's like meet me on the inside, and he physically strong. I think he's physically stronger than Canelo. You know, so when he starts to, you know, arm wrestle and bully Canelo around the ring, what's Canelo going to do? You know, plus Ward is probably now walking around at cruiserweight, so he a big dude. So it's like, I mean, his fight weight's smaller, but I'm just saying it just don't it like Canelo. This is a one time, this is a one off thing. He gonna be up in light heavyweight and then he gonna go back down, right? That's what it is. He's not going. And he's probably going to go back down to 160 because again, a lot of people don't understand. Canelo's not really, even though he's going to end his career probably at 168. He's not really this big dude that make everybody make him out to be. And it's so weird because people talk about Gennady Golovkin's not this really big dude. Canelo's smaller than Gennady Golovkin. We're not talking weight wise. We're talking size wise, fighting size wise. He's smaller than Gennady Golovkin, right? Canelo, if he wanted to, could go all the way back down to 154 with great effort and diet and fight for a world title and actually beat somebody like Munguia. He could just go down to 154, beat Munguia, take the title, and come back up to 160. Canelo could do that shit. You have to understand, he's small. He's not this big dude like that. He can make 154, right? Even though he walk around probably 175, 180, like Errol Spence do. He's really a smaller guy than those other guys, right? And you can see it with his height and his reach and all of that. So I think a lot of people just really don't understand how good Canelo is until he got this franchise belt now that allow him to just move up and down and weight all over the place. So if you want to go down to 154, fight a guy at 154, go back up to 175. If you want to go to 168, 160, this is what you'll do. So he's not limited by any weight class. That's what basically the WBC franchise belt was. It seemed as though they were setting it up so Canelo could go up and down in weight from 175 to 154. And I guess he just wants to dominate going up and down. Intangible Boxing says now that the Shields fight has got canceled, Gerard in his headlines tonight. Yeah. I'm ready. The luster of the fight, I wanted to see Clarissa Shields fight. That's what I really wanted to see. I'm sorry it was canceled. I was hoping that, in another video, I was hoping that we would see that fight. Anyway, it's an hour into the stream. I'm going to come back and talk to you guys about another topic that I said I was going to talk to you guys about. In that vein, I hope you guys have a good day. I'm going to catch you guys in a minute or so. I just need to go do some things, drink some water, get some stuff done for my body. Until then, you guys have a good one, all right? Peace.